dinner with Meghan Markle the other night. Well, she was at the same table, so I can't say. She wasn't my guest. I was a guest. We were both guests at a dinner party in California, and she had just gotten back from the palace. And I think I didn't talk to her really more than to say a couple words, but I know she was talking about it.
Trying to make us believe that Martha Stewart was lying.
Yeah.
Martha, who has, 7 decades of telling us the truth. But what you have, Meghan, is 10 years of lies. So I'm sorry, I trust Martha.
That's
and
right.
you're calling
You don't
Martha a liar.
Meghan Markle is reportedly furious right now because Martha Stewart just exposed exactly what she was saying about the king at a private California dinner. And when Meghan's team tried to shut it down by calling Martha a liar, it backfired hard. Here's the full story they don't want you to see.
This is as delicious as a bowl of Martha Stewart's one pasta. Yes, the lifestyle genius has just scored the ultimate revenge on a certain Meghan Markle, her long-time, shall we say, frenemy.
Out between the Duchess of Sussex and American cultural icon Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart spoke to People magazine, which is a very Sussex-friendly publication, saying that she overheard Meghan Markle boasting about her royal return and her time with King Charles at Highgrove House.
Meghan is just trying to get out of the obvious trouble that she is in, because I would think it's game over because of what has been said about her time with the king. She should have not said anything.
Picture this. Martha Stewart, 85 years old, calm as ever on the cover of People magazine. Decades of real experience. No filters, no scripts. And sitting across from her at that California table, Meghan, fresh off the plane from the palace. Martha didn't just drop a casual comment. She described the exact setting and the exact timing. An 85-year-old woman sitting at a private California dinner table. Meghan only days off the plane from the palace. Same room, same night. Martha barely exchanged a few words with her, yet she left that table knowing exactly what had been discussed. That dinner landed right after the Highgrove meeting. King Charles, Queen Camilla, the 2 children in the same room for the first time in 4 years. The gathering that was meant to stay completely private, no cameras, no statements. No one expected it to become dinner table conversation on the other side of the world.
If Meghan Markle had been sitting there at this dinner party among the Hollywood elite with producers and entrepreneurs, no one around that table, Rupert, worth less than a few $1 million. And it wouldn't be surprising if Meghan was waxing lyrical about her royal reunion, because it's quite clear that things aren't really happening for Megs in the United States at the moment.
She knew exactly what she was doing, Lady C, and letting off that bomb in People magazine. I love it.
Martha did not raise her voice. She did not add drama. She simply laid out what she saw and what she heard, the same way she has for 7 decades. Calm, clear, zero filter. Then she went one step further. She looked at the full path from actress to princess to lifestyle television host and said the whole thing simply does not follow. No soft landing, no careful wording, just the blunt truth delivered in one clean line.
Martha Stewart is an absolutely stunning woman. She's 85 years of age. She looks about 50. She's an incredibly accomplished person, as you've said, Rupert. She is a multi-millionaire and an American cultural icon. So why would she lie about what Meghan may or may not have said at a dinner party?
I just think it is such a comedy show now, just watching her try to be relevant, to make sense of things that don't make sense. It is one of those things where you have to have, like I said before, your coming to Jesus moment that you screwed up. And she's never going to have that moment because the ego in this woman is too big. She doesn't want to acknowledge the failure. So she's going to continue to embarrass herself, look completely just ignorant in terms of all the things she's trying to do. Really, it has to stop. It's comedy hour for her right now, Dan.
two women at the same table. One has spent a lifetime saying what she actually thinks. The other had just stepped off a plane from the palace. You can already feel the reaction online. People are not debating the details. They are pointing at the contrast. 7 decades of plain speaking versus a carefully managed image. One woman who has never needed a team to clean up her words. The other whose team moved within hours. Martha gave the setting, she gave the timing, she gave the moment. And the second those words hit, the entire temperature changed.
Martha Stewart doesn't need the clicks.
Yeah.
She doesn't need the headlines. She doesn't need the money.
And also, she added to what she said, you've got to be authentic in what you're doing and believe in what you're doing. And we've looked at some of those programs, Mark, I'm sure, and that Meghan does, and you actually go, what the heck's this all about? She's just chopping vegetables. Whereas, and occasionally, candles and producing rosé. She's not probably put in the hard yards, which I would have thought.
And I love Martha Stewart because she is just so direct. She went to prison and she came out and built this whole second career. Seemed to do very well in it. Obviously built a gigantic business too. Yeah, she is not somebody to play around with, and that passive aggressive criticism of Meghan Markle there was so enjoyable and so deserved.
Meghan's side did not stay quiet. They went straight after Martha's memory. Within hours, the denials started landing. One source claimed Martha must have been confused. Another insisted the two women were not even seated next to each other. A third said Meghan only answered that the European trip was nice, and that was the entire conversation. Then, the host of the dinner stepped in. He said he sat right next to Meghan that night. He called Martha's version simply untrue.
And she can just never shut up, right? Because today she has been briefing to the Daily Mail, trying to make us believe that Martha Stewart was lying. A source close to Meghan saying that Martha must have been confused because the pair were not seated next to one another. The insider said, and this has clearly come directly from her team to the Mail, Meghan was asked by someone else about her European vacation. She said it was nice and that was the extent of it. I think she must have been confused. And it's like, I'm sorry, Meghan, we believe Martha.
It's big business, so she will have a big operation behind her, sort of creating the Martha Stewart effect around whole of America. But it was hard won. She did not achieve it overnight. Whereas Meghan's approach to her lifestyle brand is, it's because of who I am, it's easy. Well, actually, nothing is easy. You don't get something without a bit of hard graft. And I think that's what lots of people seem to feel, that Meghan thinks that everyone are just going to buy her spread because of who she is. Well, you don't take on Martha Stewart if you want to enhance your brand. I wouldn't have thought in America.
The problem was the speed and the tone. It felt like a coordinated scramble instead of a calm correction. People noticed. The same comments kept repeating under every post. We believe Martha. 7 decades of truth versus a sudden memory problem. Why does this keep happening? Martha never raised her voice. She never changed her story. She just sat there with decades of receipts, while the other side tried to rewrite the table seating in real time. That is when the temperature shifted. The denial did not shut the story down. It poured gasoline on it. Every attempt to protect the narrative only made more people lean toward the 85-year-old who has never needed a team to clean up her words. While that denial was still circulating, another part of Martha's comments started circulating just as hard. Martha did not only talk about the dinner, she looked at the whole path and said the whole thing simply does not follow.
If you're an actress, it's hard to then transition to a princess, and then from a princess into a homemaking guru on a television show. It doesn't sort of follow. So go from there.
Actress, then princess, then lifestyle television host. She laid the 3 stages next to each other and let the silence do the rest.
It was wonderful. I mean, she eviscerated her very elegantly because, I mean, it's very difficult to make a transition from D-grade actress to A-grade princess, and then to make it from A-grade princess down to Z-grade influencer. And she's managed to do it. And I thought that Martha Stewart got the point across very elegantly, that Meghan has failed at everything. But she doesn't say it like that.
On one side, you have a woman who has actually cooked, gardened, built businesses, gone to prison, come back, and still rolls with Snoop Dogg at 85. On the other side, you have a Netflix series and a jam brand that arrived with perfect lighting and perfect timing.
She just says how difficult it is. And let's not forget that Meghan is always going on and on about how difficult her life is and how difficult all the transitions were. But Meghan doesn't say that she is partly or totally responsible for her failure. She makes everybody else responsible for her failure. But I think Martha Stewart is making the point that really it's a difficult transition at the best of times, and this is not the best of times, and Meghan has flopped.
The same week the dinner story exploded, Cookie Queens hit theaters, August 7. The Girl Scout documentary Meghan executive produced. The promotion and the controversy landed on top of each other like they were scheduled by the same calendar.
I'm Meghan.
And I'm Alyssa.
And we're the Cookie Queens.
And today we are taking over the Tasty Kitchen to invent a brand new cookie flavor.
It looks disgusting. Actually, that doesn't even look like a cookie dough. It looks like, it looks like poop. Do you know what I mean? It looks like a meatball. It's very unappetizing. It's very gross. I'm sorry, and no shade on the girls, but this is terrible.
Flavor from scratch. The Cookie Queens, you're the ones who are in charge of making this flavor. So are you ready to invent it?
By the way, you saw that she used the Duchess of Sussex title, right? A royal title.
Suddenly, the lifestyle image and the palace dinner story were fighting for the same headlines. One moment, people were watching Martha's calm delivery. The next moment, the feed was full of jam jars and Girl Scout cookies. That overlap did not help. It made everything feel more forced, more managed, more like a brand trying to stay relevant while the ground was shifting under it.
Excuse me? Doesn't Meghan have as ever raspberry spread, strawberry spread, orange marmalade? And here you have Bon Maman. If I had been a businesswoman, I would have said, especially an executive producer, when you're lending a royal title, I would have, and I have jam or I have raspberry reserves or whatever, I would have insisted, we're going to use my products because we're going to promote my products in that documentary. And that way she gets revenue twofold as an executive producer and by promoting her own jam or raspberry spread. But no, here it is. Bon Maman, because Bon Maman is actually paying, because Meghan Markle's company, as ever, does not have any money left. She's broke. She can't afford to pay for sponsor spot in a documentary.
Martha never needed a documentary or a fruit spread launch to prove she belonged in that space. She just lived it for decades. The contrast was sitting right there in plain sight. That promotion included a sit-down with actual 7-year-olds, and the body language was impossible to miss.
What's so interesting, by the way, is that as that one pointed out, Meghan Markle clearly never takes her own advice. Watch.
My teacher, Miss Pulia, said, keep a good heart. I just think it's one of those simple things that you can always remember no matter what situation you're in. Just keep a good heart.
Oh, keep a good heart.
Meghan sits with the Girl Scouts from Cookie Queens. The girls ask simple questions. One of them asks what childhood advice still guides her today. She gives the answer about keeping a good heart. Soft, polished, ready for the camera.
Yeah, like, keep a good heart when you're bullying your sister-in-law who's about to battle cancer. Keep a good heart when you're snubbing and secretly recording your own father who has just lost half his leg in a Filipino hospital. Oh, yeah, keep a good heart when you're bullying the late Queen Elizabeth II on an international scale while accusing her of racism. Piss off.
Then the conversation turns to cookies. She mentions dipping shortbread or thin mints in jam or sandwiching them together with jam in the middle. One of the young girls looks straight at her and says she has never heard anyone do that before.
That's because the bitch is lying. No reasonable human being takes Girl Scouts cookies and dips them in jam. Meghan Markle is only trying to sell jam. Everything about her is contrived.
I heard you had some questions for us.
Yes, we do. What is your favorite Girl Scout cookie? On the classics, I'm a Thin Mint gal. And also when I was filming with you for weeks and weeks and weeks, I got to taste so many cookies, and I've become a real fan of the lemonades.
But I like shortbread, so I really like the trefoils too. I like to dip them in jam.
The reaction is instant. Not mean, just honest. The kind of honest only a child can deliver. Watch her face in that moment. The smile stays in place, but it tightens. The answers get shorter. The energy shifts. She inserts the Duchess of Sussex framing, even though the girls are just talking about cookies and jam.
You can't just, get the questions and craft an answer that sounds good and think people are going to buy it. We live in a completely different age now with technology, and so much has been said and talked about with Meghan. The consumer's a lot more, attuned to the kind of person Meghan is. And so it's just falling on deaf ears with her, and she just doesn't even look comfortable. She looks so scripted and contrived and unbelievable.
The same week this clip spreads, the as ever fruit spreads are being pushed again. Raspberry, strawberry, orange marmalade, $12 a jar. The jam line and the product launch land on top of each other. People notice the timing. The comments under the video keep saying the same thing in different ways. She looks uncomfortable. This feels like an ad. The kids are more natural than she is. It is one short interview, yet it shows everything. The forced connection, the careful wording, the product placement that doesn't even try to hide, the complete opposite of the calm, unfiltered energy Martha brought to her interview days earlier.
There's no connection between her and those kids. She can't stand those kids. She's giving them odd looks. She's going through the motions. She's not someone, we've seen this a lot over the years, she's not someone that connects with kids. But to try and sell the idea of heart and being a good person and love and using children to do that, I just don't think this is the right strategy to sell this movie, because all anyone sane says is like, Meghan, if you had a heart, you'd speak to your dad.
While that clip was spreading, another longtime ally was also on camera complaining about the public. Oprah sits down and starts talking about how rude and mean people have become. Everywhere you go, it feels like something is in the drinking water. People will say anything to you now. They will treat you any kind of way. The timing is loud. This lands in the same window as Martha's dinner comments and the rapid pushback that followed. The same window where the public is openly choosing the 85-year-old woman with a long track record over the carefully managed narrative.
No opes. Basically, we figured you out and we turned on you because of what you did during that interview. That's what's changed, not the good-hearted nature of the public overall. Watch.
I wanted to do the show because I know you all have noticed it too. People are just so rude and mean everywhere you go. It just feels like, is it in the drinking water? What has happened that people just will say anything to you, will treat you any kind of way? People are so mean. I know that I'm not the person who's just feeling this, and a lot of people have expressed they were feeling it. That's why I wanted to do a show and talk to a social psychologist about what is happening to us.
What is happening to us? Opes, we woke up to you.
For years, the audience had almost no voice. Now, they answer in real time, under every post, on every platform. The same people who once stayed quiet are saying in the quiet part out loud. Oprah frames it as a general problem with society. A lot of viewers see something more specific. They see a longtime supporter noticing the temperature has changed and trying to explain it as everyone else becoming meaner. The contrast is stark. Martha speaks plainly, and the room leans in. Oprah talks about mean people, and the comments fill with the exact history that created the skepticism in the first place.
When it comes to Oprah Winfrey, all of a sudden, she has had this dawning realization about the fact that the public have turned on her. And the public have turned on her, of course, because she perpetuated Meghan Markle's lies. And that's the reason why we're seeing this attempt to rewrite history with the Vanity Fair interview last week, where she finally tried to justify that.
Meanwhile, quieter signals were appearing about the Montecito house itself. August 2026, Harry loses the privacy case against the Daily Mail publisher. The other side starts asking for tens of millions in costs. Numbers floating around, 13 million right away, and a much larger total behind it. Within days, the same question keeps showing up. Could the $14.65 million Montecito mansion end up with a for sale sign in front of it?
And Pete Diner, there's also the suggestion that Meghan Markle is trying to sell the house, but do so on the quiet. Like, she can't just put it on the market because imagine. So this idea of getting it on the real estate websites, trying to sort of suggest, oh, look, our kitchen has been updated even though nothing has really changed.
At the exact same time, Meghan turns 45. The celebration stays at home. Pajama dance in the kitchen to Stevie Wonder, dogs forced into tiny party hats, pool photos with balloons. The public greetings come from a very small circle. Tracy Robbins, Kelly McKee-Zyphon. That is basically the list. No big Hollywood turnout, no A-list crowd, just the quiet version.
That Meghan did actually want a big birthday for her 45th, but no one wanted to be part of it. He reported sources telling him that the original plan was an over-the-top party worthy of the lavish New York baby shower and fairy tale royal wedding that once defined her life. Meghan loves a big party, one source tells Naughty But Nice. She envisaged another iconic celebrity gathering. It was supposed to remind the world she was still Hollywood royal, but reality intervened. It quickly became obvious the guest list wasn't coming together. And
while those clips circulate, real estate sites and lifestyle pages suddenly start featuring the kitchen, updated details, fresh photos, soft language about improvements, all of it landing in the same window the legal cost talk is loudest. The timing does the talking. Money pressure on one side, soft house coverage on the other, a birthday that stayed small. 3 separate signals pointing in the same direction. All of this is happening against the backdrop of the one meeting that was supposed to stay private. July 2026. First family visit to Britain in 4 years. Private reunion at Highgrove. King Charles, Queen Camilla, Archie and Lilibet in the same room. Everything framed as quiet and completely off limits. Then the social media posts appeared afterward. Soft photos, soft captions. Some reports said those posts broke an understanding about privacy. The door that had just opened started to feel like it might close again. Right after that, a new layer of reporting dropped. Advisors around Harry and Meghan were discussing a possible public statement. Not a full surrender, not walking back every claim from the past 6 years, something more limited. A carefully worded message that would acknowledge the pain caused inside the family and show respect to the king, while still protecting their own side of the story. Multiple drafts were already being talked about. The goal was simple on paper: lower the temperature and try to rebuild a little trust. The problem is that trust had been broken in public for years.
Yes, you have to say that you made the mistakes, not that the past 5 years or whatever, 6 years have caused enormous pain. That is complete nonsense. They would have to go say exactly what they're saying they don't have to do. That's why, it won't happen. We know that that is the only way you'll be able to get out of at least the issues with, your relationship with the king, is by saying you're sorry. I mean, it's the most difficult thing to do, to admit you're sorry and that you are wrong for what you have done.
A quiet statement was never going to be just a quiet statement. The meeting was meant to stay private. The posts made noise, and suddenly the idea of a public apology was on the table. 3 moves in a short space of time, all of them pointing at the same reality. The relationship is still fragile, and both sides know it. Put the pieces next to each other, and the pattern is hard to miss. Martha's 2 calm sentences at a private California dinner table, the rapid anonymous denial that followed within hours, the kids' interview and the jam line dropping in the same promotional week, Oprah on camera talking about how mean people have become, the legal cost pressure and the sudden quiet talk about the Montecito house, a 45th birthday that stayed small and private, and the Highgrove meeting that was never supposed to become dinner party conversation on the other side of the world. Every single piece landed inside the same 2-week window. No big speeches, no long explanations, just one clear line after another stacking up in real time. So where does that leave the story right now? Martha Stewart, 85 years old, said what she saw and heard in one calm interview. Meghan's side called her confused. The public mostly chose the woman with the longer record. The cookies, the jam, the house rumors, the apology talk, all of it arrived in the same tight window. The full picture is now on the table, and it did not come from anonymous sources. What do you think about all of this? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like if you want more, share this with someone who needs to see it, and subscribe so you never miss the next update. I'm Jane Expose, and I'm right here for the next Meghan Markle drama.